Warning: despite the colorful animated nature of my videos, they will sometimes have mature themes such as sexual themes and jokes, swearing, and may otherwise be unsuitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Zoa Williams is a 22-year-old autistic black woman who goes by the name Kittydog online. She believes that she is in a plural system and that she's gender fluid. Kittydog, as the name implies, is a furry animator and musician who mostly makes videos of her original characters and her own species of furry characters called Kittydogs. According to Kiwifarm, Kittydog is a hyperpop neon version of Puppy-chan, and I must agree. Both Puppy-chan and Kittydog are black autistic women who are furries, and both have failed to improve their art over the past decade. While both fell into obscurity, Kittydog doesn't have a Turkey Tom video on them, making it a free game for me and other small YouTubers. But today, we will be talking about Kittydog's past and her controversies that she was a part of. This is Plushies, where I talk about people whom I find interesting. And today's video is Kittydog.
Isn't that great?
Kittydog started animating at the age of 9 on her Nintendo DSi with the program Flipnote. Flipnote is a drawing program created by Nintendo for later Nintendo DS systems before the Nintendo 3DS. This animation came out on February 16, 2013, and I think it's decent for someone who is 9 years old. Even if it is too loud, which is a common thing with her videos, both new and old. As you can see with this video here, I had it edited for you guys so you wouldn't have your eardrums blasted. In 2016 and 2017, 3 of her videos, Hatu Dogu, Floppy Ears, and Copycat, made her blast into the mainstream view of the animation meme community, making her a staple of the animation meme community, as well as a target for bullying.
You gotta be fucking kidding. Why does this not surprise me? Shit.
Kittydog was 13 or 14 at the time and didn't know how to properly handle her fame, and still doesn't to this day. Even at a very young age, Kittydog was making relatively inappropriate videos that had sexual themes in them. While it is common for someone in the animation meme community to make these kind of videos, it is pretty bad because most of the fan base are kids and other developed adults. Usually these videos have a 16 or an 18 plus in the title, which, does absolutely nothing, and kids are still gonna watch it, even with that in the title.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Oh, and she also makes music.
You're both in love and you're a mixed bag, controlling the outcome. Different positions, cause when they see your penis falling down, I might be it, you might be it, but baby, when they become you, they'll finally see what you mean. Mixed bag, controlling the outcome. Different positions, cause when they see your penis falling down, I might be it, you might be it, but baby, when they become you, they'll finally see what you mean.
So, Birdie is a part of Kittydog's story, but Birdie's getting a video of his own soon, so I won't go into detail. Birdie is a deranged animation meme creator who believes Kittydog groomed him into being in love with her. Kittydog only played along with his deranged behavior for a short amount of time until finally giving him the boot. Birdie's behavior was so deranged that out of his own volition started drawing videos of his character murdering, raping, and dismembering other people in Kittydog's fandom that Birdie didn't even like. This isn't the first time Birdie has done this to a fandom before, because once he was obsessed with a YouTuber by the name of... How do you even say this name? Came back from Google Translate. Apparently it's pronounced Sleepy King. It's weirdly spelled. It's like king but with a Q instead of a G. What is this name? Birdie has spiraled so much that her parents had to permanently ban Birdie from the internet until he became an adult, where if you look at his channel now, Birdie became even more deranged than anyone else in his own story. Kittydog's understanding of how the body works and looks is lacking at best. She decided to go into stylization before anatomy. Some arms and legs are bigger and smaller than the others, and body parts are just sloppily placed on the character without thought or reason. I believe that to be very sloppy, and it kinda makes me dislike her art. You could be bad at anomaly, but you could still look fine, but sometimes you just gotta learn the basics before you can stylize properly. Her images are covered in bright neon colors that look like if a unicorn threw up onto a drawing tablet. Kittydog's art feels like a carbon copy of every other furry Twitter artist in their original character, both sexual and non-sexual. Alright, let's play a game. One is made by Kittydog and the other one's made by Mupley. Is that how you say his name? But anyways, can you guess whose is whose?
You gotta be fucking kidding.
I'm pretty sure I just called out the entire Twitter art circle with that one meme. Ever since Kittydog was on the internet, she's been making inappropriate images both suggestive and pornographic.
Guns don't kill people, I do. Get the fuck down. I regret nothing.
She was fully aware that she shouldn't be making these images and GIFs. She had a countdown timer to the day she would turn 18 on her not safe for work card page. Ever since she turned 18, she puts 18 plus on half her content, but with no age restriction or any change compared to her other videos. Basically making the 18 plus and 16 plus mark on video titles more useless than Roman Bellic from GTA 4. Now, Kittydog has been in many controversies that are worse than drawing porn at a young age, or being a cringy black furry with autism, and a cringy breed of cat dog thing. No, this is where things get very interesting and very alarming. Kittydog was accused of making and sharing a video of her animal dildos, and she admitted that it was true, but she stated it was from a secret account that is now private. She also says that it's only shown to relationship partners who are comfortable with it. She admitted that it was up until June 28, 2018, and wasn't until another year before she closed the server it was on. She also claimed that it wasn't well known at the time. Kittydog made offensive jokes when she was a child. That's the whole controversy. Probably one of the most stupidest shit I've ever heard someone been exposed for. She now claims that offensive jokes are harmful, which is also ridiculously fucking stupid. Kittydog used to allow children into the sexual parts of her server while she was a child. This is very alarming because she was a child, there's children in the chat, and child predators can easily take advantage of this to get their sexual gratification and possibly groom kids. Kittydog's claim about her news server with the not safe for work page on it is that it's a joke only not safe for work page where everyone shares not safe for work jokes as seen here. There supposedly is no porn in it, but the jokes are not funny and I will not laugh at them. Kittydog was accused of being a zoophile and admitted she was groomed into being one and claims not to be one anymore. What is something to take note of is she said it would have been bad if she had access to animals. She admitted that she would have had sex with animals, any animal, if she had access to them. And I'll read the screenshot now. Also, know that I did not fuck or sexually abuse any animals. I'm glad I didn't have access to any at the time because holy fuck, that would have been bad. I have learned my lesson and I'll never do anything horrible like that. But hey, at least it isn't as bad as Birdie. Well, he admitted to try to have his pet ferret commit oral sex on him. Kittydog was far into pro shipping scene that she had her own pro ship Sona and called it pro ship Floppa. If you don't know what pro shipping is, it is basically where you believe you could ship anything with anything. For example, the popcorn maker from Homestar Runner and John F. Kennedy from Clone High can be in a relationship. That is pro shipping. Because I said everything, it means everything. Real people, children characters, mythical animals, anything. Kittydog was a supporter of this until relatively recently, as shown here. She was an active pro shipper in 2020 when she was 17 years old. According to her now, she's on neither side and claimed that the anti-pro shippers were attacking her for her past zoophilic actions. Now, I've never heard of a plural system until I started researching this person. So, a plural system is DID without any diagnosis, which most people that claim to have DID don't even have. To review these points quickly, I will summarize each character with its corresponding card on screen. Loggy is the logical one. She tries to protect the system and only fronts when Kittydog is finally on medication. She is the same cat dog thing Kittydog made up. Hexy is a hyperactive bee cat dog thingy that Kittydog made up. She's Kittydog's ADHD fursona and unironically believes this thing controls her. Plant, which is a stupid fucking name, is a sex pest of this so-called system. Horny and wants sex all the time. Cyro just exists. Frack is there for when Kittydog goes and thinks of herself as a god. Very boring and very useless. Blunt is the antisocial goth edgy girl from high school who believes she's a demon. She also ate frack, so that's one good thing about her. Comet is the art animal of this system, usually making art that looks like a high schooler's doodle on Ibis Paint 3 edition. Amity is the caretaker of the system, aka another useless person inside this crazy person's mind, and Wolf is just a wolf, like the animal. These are all the fursonas inside Kittydog's mind, who she believes controls her every action. Gender fluid is where you aren't able to pick a single gender and you want to be quirky and change your gender whenever you want, or whatever you want it to be that day. Kittydog believes that they're gender fluid, pangender, intersex, and genogender, which, thinking about it, makes a lot of sense why she has her own page on Kiwifarms, and why I'm making this video. Kittydog also claims to be pansexual and sapphic, meaning she is willing to have sex with anyone, but prioritizes men and women over other genders that some random Twitter user made up to express themselves with. She also claims to be ambiguous, whatever the fuck that word is, which means that she's open to both monogamous and polyamorous relationships. Kittydog believes that she is a femboy. While I'm not here to shut this down, I am here to point out that femboys, while being suggestive in practice, will claim that it's not sexual. But think about this. This is just transvestic fetishism, but with people who can pass as women. Even though the majority of the time, they really don't. But the post right after that, she makes a post saying that she was a tomboy, and this is what she thinks men look like. Kittydog claimed that she was a femboy in one post, and in the next post, she claimed that she was a tomboy. Which is it, Kittydog?
Better keep your story straight.
Although you aren't straight. Kittydog's father, Bob Williams, is a very, very strange man. While Kittydog accuses her parents of abusing her, unlike most people on the internet, I genuinely believe her due to this one post on Bob's Facebook. It says, "Police help Zola overcome her fear of spatulas, especially dollar store quality ones that are not heat resistant. One was vigorously used to scratch a 12-inch gash down her back, scarring her for the rest of her life. I should make a Kickstarter to raise funds of a cosmetic surgery. Zola will need for her to have a normal life. It had everyone in her mother's family ready to tar and feather me. The Seattle police put a protection order against me to protect Mila and Zola most of the summer. The children cower in fear at the very thought of their father could flip pancakes within a 500-foot radius of their Columbia City home. The magic spatula, cousin to JFK's magic bullet that went in and out of him, killing him and injuring other passengers. The spatula of doom. Call the police. A spatula is on the loose. Bob and his new wife talked about a custody battle where Bob lost custody of his children and claimed that it was a purposeful effort to attack him and to alienate him from Kittydog and her brother. He supposedly hit Kittydog with a spatula and scratched her back with one to the point where she had a 12-inch gash down her back, which probably explains why she's terrified of spatulas as an adult. Bob also claims that someone in his ex-wife's life showed porn to Kittydog and his ex-wife purposely accused him of abuse to cover for the weirdo. It says, Robbie, you can help by not believing the hype. Shane Heron is the danger. 39 fucking criminal convictions, including violence against police, partners, DUI, violation of protection orders. Call me and you can talk to Zola. Nothing has ever wrong over here. She is well and happy that the lies told about me were thrown out of court and she can see me again. I never fucking touched her. Sean is a shitty artist who is a permanent alcoholic. Zola was coached to call former alcoholic TN her evaluation and was being robbed by Dickhead for her money. He told her that if she doesn't just give it to her, he will steal it anyways. You can help by asking your sister why she would favor Sean's band of Ballard Bridge fuckers, possibly unregistered sex offenders, them all, over our kids. As soon as I left the house on 23rd, someone started showing Zola porn. They invaded Mahal and Zola's space. They told me drunks were daily occupying the bathrooms, passing out after making horrendous vomit wretches and passing out sessions. Endorsed by Reese, many times supplied it, and their cigarettes. How dare anyone accuse me of abusing my children with a fuck like Sean in the house? Poor Andy. I know what's happening with him. I just don't know why Chamorro family loyalty would take precedence over intervening in royal fucking up. What the fuck does that even mean? Now, I absolutely despise Bob's newest wife, Tammy, because of her most notable post on Facebook about her custody between Bob and his ex-wife. She says this about kids not wanting to visit their parents. This is my new passion, to teach others about how often families alienate, abduct, and custodial interfere in relationships that have gone bad. This is a real problem and needs to stop. Plus, it is illegal. Even Bob Williams' ex-wife did this to him with his children Zola and Mala Williams. Please know that kids have a right to see both parents. When kids don't want to visit, it's not their choice to make. Enforce your visits. Enforce your visits. She says this without understanding what it's like to even have to live with divorced parents. And especially if you had one that abused you as a child, if a child doesn't want to visit a parent for whatever reason, let the child stay home. Respect the child's decision of not wanting to visit for any kind of reason. I'm lucky to have two parents that actually respect my decisions. Not some like fucking white liberal that only donates plasma for money or some shit. Kittydog is a cringy, furry YouTuber known for shitty animation memes and horrible music. Her family is filled with total nutcases, and she was introduced to the internet at a very young age, setting her up for disaster in the long run. This is what happens when you let a child introduced to the internet at a very young age and only has yes man around them 24/7. Kittydog is a case study I encourage you to indulge yourself in when you get the chance. And one final note before the video end, Bob actually makes decent music, unlike Kittydog.